Hello everyone. I am so excited to be showing off this game. Like, absolutely ecstatic to show off this game. This is my favorite speedrun to run ever. Like, you'll see why. How to Train Your Dragon is one of my favorite series, as you can see by the shirt. And this is taking place in between the second and third movie, so if you haven't seen it, unfortunately it's gonna spoil a little bit for the game. But or for the movies. But without further ado, we're going to start. I'm going to be playing on the Xbox Series X, so the loading screens are going to be a little bit faster. And this is called VSync on for a reason, because with VSync there's going to be multiple different skips that only the PC is able to do, and I'll be explaining when those will be happening. But first off, the first thing that we're going to be doing here is we are just going to be mashing. And I'm going to say that this is, like I said, this takes place in between the second and third movies, so he's still in his little bit awkward phase, and by he, I mean Hiccup here is in his little bit awkward phase still. So right here, we have Hiccup and Toothless were flying over an island, and they saw that it was all destroyed. They don't know why it was destroyed, but they go down there, and they end up finding this guy here. He doesn't know his name, he doesn't know where he's at, how he got here. So he says, okay, we'll call you Scribbler. The reason we call you Scribbler is because you have a little booklet there, and you have a bunch of scribbles in it. Creative idea for Hiccup. And so he says, who's that egg? He says, I don't know. Well, it's your egg now. Since nobody else is claiming the egg, we are going to just let you have it. So you can go ahead and watch that egg, and we're gonna go and find out what the sound, cause of that roar is. So with that, he says, "Okay, egg, what are we gonna do?" But then there's a smoke screen, and the baddies come and they steal the egg. And now it is time for us to get our own. We just got super lucky because Hiccup said, oh, well, if you need anything, there is 2 chests there. They will help you out if you ever need them for an emergency. Well, this is an emergency. The egg is missing. So we're going to steal both of these. We're never going to be using the shield. And now we're going to go into the movement tech here. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be rolling. And then I'm going to be attacking. And this is actually... Oh, you have to do it in a rhythmic motion. Otherwise, it won't work out. But this is the fastest movement that you're going to see throughout the entire game. And, yeah, this is... You're gonna hear a lot of grunting out of Scribbler here. Alright. Now we are going to just follow this guy this way. So I might run into a bunch of different things. It is, like I said, this movement tech is like fairly new, so it's kind of tricky to do. But I know how to set it up, luckily. If I mess up once or twice. So I'm actually the world record holder for VSync on. So right here we're going to do our first skip. So you're going to see a lot, but normally this is the tutorial, but since we know how to attack, we're actually just going to go around the dialogue box here, or the activation here. Cool, cool, cool. That was actually really, really good. And so we see the egg, we go after the egg, but then we get trapped. And they're like, haha, we have you trapped and the egg. What are you going to do about it? And he says, I don't know. But then something's going to happen here that's going to allow for us to actually get out of the cage. And that's going to be that the egg is actually going to hatch. But you're going to see something a little bit different about this dragon. This dragon is going to be... he's going to look like a bunch of different dragons combined into one, and that's going to be very important coming up to the story, basically. And we're going to call this through the dialogue that Hiccup says that we're going to be skipping through. He says, "Oh, it looks like multiple different dragons, so why don't we call it a Chimeragon?" And it doesn't have a name. Why don't we name him Patch, because he's patched together with different dragons. Creative idea, Hiccup. So, we're gonna do the iconic, motion that we would in the movies, if you've seen the movies. And that is to put our hand out and touch it. That's the only way to kind of train a dragon and make it become yours. And then once that happens, then, we're just gonna, start our adventure with both, Patch and Hiccup. Or patching scribblers, not patching hiccup. So, now we are going to go and we are going to... we are going to get our first skip sort of situation here. So what's going to happen is we're going to get this thing called Terror Mail from the tiny little dragons on the post over there. And when we do that, it's actually going to allow for us to move. And it's just Terror Mail movement. And we're going to be using that to our advantage just here in this level to get a tiny bit of a skip here. So we're going to move during that dialogue, and we're going to move all the way up here. And I actually have to listen in here in just a second once we go to showing Hiccup and Toothless here. 1 second. So now we're going to go into skip, roll skipping, which I just did there. So you're going to see me switching a lot in this game, and doing that, I'm only doing that for the sole purpose of, if you know where all the dialogue boxes in this game as an activation for fights are in this game, you can completely skip them by rolling into it and then switching characters out really quickly. So we're actually going to be doing that right here inside of this next area as well. So we're going to go over here, and we are going to roll, switch, and now we are back. We're going to bring, we're going to be bringing Scribbler with us and just running all the way over here. Please don't fight them. Cool, and now we're going to do this skip. That one was found exactly by me, by accident, because we were trying to find a pathway to do that, and I managed to accidentally do it. So then we modified it, and now we can do it every single time. So now we're going to go down here, and this, after this, we're going to control Scribbler once again by doing our movement, because he has to attack that anyway, so might as well. And now we're going to switch back to Patch here, because we need him in order to cross this, and now we're coming on to one of the most important skips in this entire level, and that is Astrid Skip. So Astrid will talk to you in almost every single level, and we don't want her to talk to us, so we just completely roll past her dialogue box, and that saves about 40 seconds each time that we do an Astrid Skip. So now we're going to go over here, and we are going to stay as Patch here. Hopefully, come on, to get past it. Okay, good. I am the only one that I know of that has actually been able to crash there for some strange reason. It just crashes. I've also fallen through the floor here. If you decide to switch at the last second, you can actually fall through the floor here, and you would have to restart it and watch this whole dialogue box over again. Which, as you can see, is really slow, and there's no way of actually skipping this. I've tried it, like I said. Alright. And now we're just going to run over to the right here, and after this, we're just going to be controlling, basically, Scribbler throughout the rest of this level here. So as you can see, we are going really fast compared to what we would normally be doing, which is just the rolling. And there we go. So right here, we're going to wait just a tad before we do our roll skip. Oh wait, that's fine. So this is the first time that I'll be able to show this off, so I'm going to run off the screen and then run back on. This will allow for us to still completely skip it, because once the fight sequence happens, it only happens once, and then we're just able to skip past it again. That'll be very important later on for one that we just completely cannot skip. So right there, we're going to skip past that. Then we're going to do another... There we go. Another switching there. That is an up warp that the game believes that you are on the same axis, I believe, as where that is. So if you just switch underneath it, then it allows for you to upwarp. We're actually going to be using that to our advantage in one more level as well. And that will be the runes of this level. Oops. There we go. So each level has an open world like this, as well as the runes. Cool. And now we're going to roll up here. And get up top. Ah, God. Okay, we're coming into this last section. This is the last section. We will be controlling Hatch here. Well, I got past it. I struggle with that roll there. And he actually does not have his own roll right now, so we can't do the fast. And that's our last skip for the level, and we're going to run up here, and we're going to actually talk to Astrid. If you skip past this, you can't continue on, so we have to talk to her. Alright, and just like that, we are heading into the Havenholm Ruins. We'll only be coming back this way in order to talk to people. Alright, so now we're in the ruins. This is the first of 3 ruins that we're going to be doing throughout the entire game. And so that means that there's going to be 3 levels, 3 areas. This rune is pretty broken. We're going to be skipping quite a bit of it. And then we're going into the boss, and the boss has manipulation that was actually found by me. Well, it wasn't found by me. I managed to make it so it was consistent. It was found by a Lost Speedrunning, who started this game. This game's speedrun. He accidentally managed to do it, but then I managed to go back in, watch one of his speedruns, and was able to make it consistent. So I'll be able to explain it in just a little bit here once we get there. Ah! Get in the door. Thank you. So we're gonna hit the switch, run up here. Cool. We got... That's fine. You can skip past that dialogue box. I haven't been able to get it in a long time. So we're gonna hit that switch and roll through here. Normally you would have to wait for a cutscene to happen there that says, oh, you open up that switch. Well, if you just roll through it in time, then you completely you completely skip that. So now we're going into our actual first fight that we officially have to do in order for the game to continue on. And it's gonna get us a better weapon instead of this axe, and we're never gonna be using this axe ever again. So right here, we're going to attack, and hopefully, yeah, he froze that. Nice. And now we're going to go up here, and the game is going to freak out, because what we're going to do is we're going to grab up the weapon here. We're going to equip the weapon. And now we're going to travel out. The game wants us to stay at that screen, not expecting us to actually... Not expecting us to be able to skip past that. And now we're going to get past all this, and then I'm going to be careful in this next screen, because I'm just going to roll over here, because we can only do that up warp right there if those boxes are in the way. So what that up warp does for us is it actually completely skips us having to go to the right-hand side of this dungeon. And the dungeon would normally, you would have to go through the dungeon and open up the right-hand side, but with us doing that up warp, it allowed for us to completely skip it. So now we're going on to another puzzle, but we're going to kind of cheese our way through this puzzle as well. Ah, crap. Okay, that's fine. You can skip that dialogue box as well. So we're going to push this over, and we're going to lodge our way into this way. We're going to hit that twice. We're going to hit this one over, hit that one over, and then we're going to hit this down. That allows for us to completely solve the puzzle a lot faster than you would. Normally you wouldn't be able to hit that, but if you lodge yourself in, then it works. So now we're going to hopefully not get those dragons in our way. Cool. They were nice to us. So now we're going to go through here, and we're going to run into somebody we don't know their name yet. We'll find out in a little bit exactly what their name is. But she's talking about... other dragons. She has plans, and you can see the shape of the Night Fury on their desk. We're going to run away from her at this moment. We'll find out their name in just a minute here. So now we're going to run into here, and we're going to see Astrid is holding a door while her dragon, Stormfly, is just standing there not helping her out. And she says, do you need help? No, I've got it. She's holding off whatever's behind that door. We never find out what's behind that door, and we're actually going to just go into the next area. Bye! Bye, Astrid. Alright, we're going to go over here, and we're going to go into the Hot Purple fight, which is very fun fight because of the manipulations. So what's going to happen here is, as you can see, Air, her name is Air, by the way, has put... a controlling device on the top of the dragon, and what we want to do is try and get rid of the control device on top. So in order to do that, we have to hurt him, unfortunately, in order to make him be on our side. So this manipulation that we're going to do throughout this fight is we're going to run up here, and we're going to... So as you can see, each wave he's going to be throwing those fireballs. And then he's going to be running towards us like this. And then we're going to run over here, and we're going to attack air once, twice. Then we're going to run over here, and we're going to stand exactly right before the switch here. So he's going to do this, then he's going to go up. We're going to stand on that, and we're going to bring Scribbler down here. That allowed for him to, instead of landing, we were able to make him go all the way over here. Ah! That was my fault. So now we're going to try and do the one more time. If we can do this, then we have the 3 manipulations. We were just a little bit slow on air, which is fine. Did we get it? We got it. Okay, we got both the manipulations. So right there, we just did another manipulation on air. Normally what she would do there is she would shoot up in the air like she did on the second wave there. But if you hit her right when she does the animation, it will cause her to just completely stop what she was doing and go and get hit so we can hit her multiple times. So now we're going to have a little bit of fun in this, this area here, because it's kind of boring just sitting here. And since we know that he's attached to multiple different dragons here, there's going to be something weird that happens to Patch here. He's going to actually become big, which is not good for us because that means that he's speeding up fast. We don't know why he's speeding up fast, but we kind of want to find a cause for that. And because he is now turned big, he now has another power, and that's electricity. So not only does he have ice now, but he also has electricity. So something fun here, since we're able to control him, he's supposed to be on top of Patch here, but we can move all of our stuff around to make it so they're just flying on absolutely nothing. He's supposed to be on his back right now. So that was actually a really good fight with the manipulations and everything. And we're going to go, and we are going to fly now, because he is now a Broodwing, which allows for us to ride on his back, and this cutscene here is just Hiccup coming up. Oh, he's big now? You can ride on his back? Okay, here's how you fly. And that's all that this is going to do. So now we're going to fly over to Havenholm once again. But what I'm going to do is something kind of strange. I'm going to slow down at the same time as I'm flying down to the campground of Havenholm. All we're doing to go down here is we're going to fly down here and talk to everybody that's in the game, just to try and find out why he's speeding up his aging, and if anybody knows how to actually stop it. So if you like the How to Train Your Dragon series, we're going to run in all the characters here. We have Astrid, Hiccup, Toothless. We have everybody here, and if you play the game casually, all the Terra males that are going to be coming by are actually Snotlow and the twins and everybody. Alright, so we're just mashing right now through all the dialogue. There's nothing really to do here, except for this. Alright, so we're going to get a Terra male here. There's not going to be anything like too exciting. We're just going to be able to run really quick just for fun. And I like to see how far I can get before we're done, because they're going to say something and then we're just going to fly off. So flying off that fast allows for us to actually skip another dialogue box that would normally happen right there. And now we're heading over to my favorite area in the entire game, and that would be Falco's Mountain. So if you haven't seen the second or third movies, mostly the second movie, you will notice, you will know what Valka's Mountain is. Valka is actually Hiccup's mother. And this is where she stayed while she was gone. So we don't unfortunately see Falco throughout this run unless we do it later on just for fun. But we're going to go over here, and we are going to head over to the Ice Palace here. And this area of Falco Mountain is actually the most broken area in the entire game. Every single screen, besides one, has a skip involved with it. And if you're interested in glitch hunting, please come by and try and find a skip for the one screen in this game that is not skippable. So there's a lot to explain while I'm running in Falco Mountain here, but it's also my favorite level. So the first skip right away is we are going to be doing another Astrid Skip here, and this one's very important because she would be giving us an item that... I did another skip there, that's good. That's a really hard skip to do as well. Don't exactly know where the trigger is per se. But now we got that, and we're going to run over here, and we are going to switch back over to Scribbler here, because we are going to be doing this a lot in this level. Maybe. So in this area is actually the first VSync off skip coming up soon that we would normally do. So I'm gonna switch over to oh crap, okay, that's fine. So we're gonna go back over this way. So as I said before, you can just go back here and then back through. It completely skips it again, and we don't have to fight these guys. Oh, I should have just stayed patch. Oh god. So you're gonna see me do a couple of things with patch here. So that spin with the tail, it doesn't explain to you exactly what to do, how to do that in the game. We think it's an oversight from the devs, but what I'm doing is I'm actually doing my attack as well as sprinting, and it allows for you to spin, and it's actually the strongest attack in the entire game. I didn't get it. So sometimes here, very rarely, are you able to switch over to Scribbler here, and you're able to control him during that cutscene there, but we don't have a consistent time to actually do that. So that was another skip, just to let everybody know. We completely skipped a whole puzzle. We're going to be doing that a lot. Dang it! That's so hard to do now. I used to be able to get that all the time. So like I said, the strongest attack in the entire game is this tail whip that that Patch does. It destroys most enemies in one attack. And then we're going to roll up here, and we are going to go out of bounds once again. That was really good. Go over here. And we just completely skipped another puzzle. Going into this next section, instead of having to worry about doing the roll past something, they kind of left a little space for us to run past it, so we just ran past the gate there, and now we're just going to up-warp once again, and we're going to go through. Now we're going to go over this way, and we're going to skip that, and we're going to stay as patchier because it's a little bit faster to do instead of switching. And one thing I wasn't able to do at the very beginning, normally we get a safety potion at the very beginning, so hopefully I don't mess up here. Whoa! I've never actually fallen down that hole before, which is kind of funny. So, right here, the place that I'm coming up to at this very moment, right here is where the first V-Sync off category would take place. Instead of climbing up here like I'm doing right now, all they would have to do is switch over to one of the two people, and you can actually push them through the wall there with V-Sync off, and it saves, if you do it correctly fast enough, it saves about 20 seconds to 30 seconds. Oops. Go up here. So that's like one of the few puzzles we actually solve. So I'm actually going to stay as Scribbler here. because we're coming up on his next puzzle. If you could call a puzzle. Cool. We went a little bit farther. Normally that would stop you right at the beginning of the walk there. So we're going to go over here, and we're just going to jump up there, and we're going to do the same thing, our up warp. And now we're going to go over here, and we're going to switch over to Patch, because Patch has the next one. And this one's really fun here. Roll. And then we have one more, and we'll skip a whole other puzzle. Cool, cool, cool. And here is my worst one in the entire game. I don't know why. Cool, got it. Let me through. Let me through. Thank you. Nice. Okay, let's go. And this screen is the only puzzle in the entire of Falco's Mountain that we have to solve. This is the one that I said, if you are a glitch hunter and you're looking for a game to find a skip for, this is the only one that we need it for. Because it's very slow and very annoying. Cool. That was fast enough, though. We'll take that. Because we found out that if you go down and back through this area, you are able to up warp through the area. So if you can get down below without having to hit all of those, we could just up warp to the end right here, and we wouldn't have to solve that puzzle at all. So right here, we're going to roll, and there we go. We skipped a whole other fight once again. And through. And now we're going to go here, and we're going to try and hit that. Ah, I didn't hit it. So you can turn fast enough and hit that that switch. Otherwise, and then if I was to turn fast enough right there, I would have had that cutscene at the same time as I had that other one that just showed up. So it lost a little bit of time, but coming up is my favorite trick in the entire game. We're just going to run off the edge here and go down here. That just completely skipped the entire puzzle. That's probably one of the longer puzzles in the entire game. You could just run off the edge and get to the final checkpoint there. We're going to go here and we're going to skip our last dialogue or cutscene there. And we're going to go into Falco's Mountain Ruins, where we have even more skips. This game is completely broken open, which is pretty funny. It came out in 2019, and it is, once you learn the speedrun, it is so fun to do. Like, that's why it's my favorite speedrun to do, just because you're skipping everything. Don't have to watch, you barely have to watch cutscenes, and you have a lot to do throughout the entire run. So I'm going to take a drink here really quick. Right here is just a bunch of dialogue. This is why we wanted to find all these cutscene skips, because there's just a lot of mashing otherwise. Alright, so now we're going to control Patch here. And Patch is going to roll through here, and he's going to fall down, hopefully. Then this is a more recent trick that was found as well. We're going to stand right there, go forward, go back, and then hop up again. And we now just completely skipped having to go through that top area up there. So right here, we're just going to solve the puzzle. We're going to go here, then we're going to roll up here. Oops. Not that. There we go. Go over here, hit that down, and then we're going to hit that. And we're going to go up here. I'm going to try the skip here. I'll do it a couple of times. Hopefully I won't have to. Cool. Ah! I do have to do it again. I did get it first try. I just didn't hit the switch, which is very unfortunate. I'll do it one more time. Hopefully I can get through. So normally you would just have to hit that switch over there, and then you would go through. There we go. Now I was able to get it. So now we're going to go through here. I was able to show it off twice, which is nice. So now we have to get up there with Patch. I don't know why I switched over. I'm not going to worry about doing the roll thing here, because we have to get up here fast enough. Hit that. Cool. Because if you hit the other side, you have to, if you miss that cycle, then you have to wait for it to pop up again like that. Losing some time. Alright, get through here. And now we switch over to Scribbler, and this puzzle, for some reason, I didn't play this game for a long time, but for some reason this is one of the few puzzles that I still will remember every time that I play it. It's very simple for me, I don't know why. This is the easiest puzzle in the entire game for me. So we're going to go through here, and we're going to actually just teleport back to the main area here, and we're going to run up as Scribbler here. And now we're going to hit this block over to the left and hopefully make it through this in time. Cool. We skipped that, and now we're going to grab ourselves Patch, and he's going to go up here, and we are going to hit that and then roll back through. If we were to do that without hitting that block, we wouldn't be able to move. Same thing right here. This will happen every time. As long as you're able to roll through there, then you'll be able to walk during the cutscene that would normally happen there. So the other day, I don't know how I did it, but I was actually able to move during this cutscene and teleport out. It was a brand new thing that had never happened before, so unfortunately we don't know how to do that yet. Alright, so that block that we moved earlier, like a minute ago, we're going to now finally walk over it, because now the area is open for us. If you would have run through here before, we would have not been able to get past these spikes, unless there's a way found in the future. We're going to go up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try MOD, one of the other runners of this game, said that, okay, it actually worked that time. If you get right up to the ice and then turn around instantly, it will allow for you to completely hit that first try. So we're going up here to one of the final puzzles of this area. This is another easy one. You're just going to move it over here, hit it up, over, down, come on, and over. And now we have one more that we had to hit. Unfortunately, you do have to knock all those down in order for the mouth to open up for you to go into the next area. So we're going to go through here, and we're going to teleport back to the main area, and we're going to stay as Scribbler here. And we have to hit both of those. We're going to move that down, over. And now we're going to head into the last area, and there's one more skip that we have to do before we head into the next boss fight. And that's in here, and it should be about right there. Cool. I studied that hard enough to try and figure out where that skip was, because it took me forever to try and find that. So once again, we're going to switch over to Patch, because there's a lot of controlling a Patch, and basically a whole entire fight is going to be Patch. Unless he runs out of health, which hopefully won't happen because this is a very long fight. Alright, we're going to go into here. We're going to find Air, and Air is going to finally tell us a little bit about her life and say that the only reason she's controlling these dragons is because the dragons... her dragon got destroyed and killed, so if she can't have a dragon, then nobody can have a dragon, and she's gonna kill off all the dragons by controlling other dragons. And we're like, why are you doing this? And she says, because I want everybody to feel how I felt. So we're going to stop her once again. So this fight used to be my worst fight, but now it's one of the more calm fights, thanks to MOD. Once again, he found a very simple way of actually... Oh, she just disappeared. Okay. That doesn't happen a lot. Usually she would just teleport out there. So the first thing we're going to do, wait until he starts going back, and then you're going to roll out of the way. This is the first wave. We're going to go over here, and we are going to wait for him to do the same thing. We're going to go there. And one more. Then we're going to stand into the very center there to get out of the way. So I'm going to stand right here already. The hardest part is controlling Scribbler here to get him into the right path without getting hurt. So that's the first path without getting hit by the dragon at all. So we're going to go over here, and the second he goes off, we're going to hit that. We're going to hit it early, so the second that he's able to be hit, they'll hit it. And now we're going to run into the corner here, and then we're going to wait until... Cool, that was really good for air to get into the way. That was very, very fast, and that's what we want. So this next one, we have to find the right... Cool, cool, cool. That's good. So we're going to do this 3 times as well. But this time it's going to go from this side. Hopefully Scribbler does not get hit. Okay. And then we have one more of those from the right side again. So I'm going to go right here just in case, because this is a lot simpler. We couldn't get hit. Nice. So now I'm going to stand right over here where we will be hitting. I'm going to be counting here for sole purpose. 1, 2, 3. Now go. I waited for the tail to disappear, and it comes down after 3 seconds, so I count that 3 just so I will be able to hit. Really? There we go. Jeez, that was terrible. Alright, so now we have one more phase, and this last phase is the phase that I was struggling with the most. So he's right there in the middle. I'm going to stand up in this top corner here. It is impossible for him to hit me. That's good. That's one. So now we're gonna go. We have to wait to see where he's going to be before we figure out where we have to go. If it's in the top, it's on the bottom. So we're gonna stand up here in this corner. It cannot hit us. And then we have one more after this. Depending on where it lands, once again. Let's see what we got. And it is going to be up in the top corner there. Okay, so we're going to stand right here. It cannot hit us. So now we're going to go up in this corner up here. I went to the wrong spot, by the way, but it's still fine. We're going to stand up in this corner. It cannot hit us. We're going to go to the middle here. It cannot hit us again. And we're going to run over to the left. It cannot hit us one last time. So now this last phase is very important. Unfortunately, we have low health for Scribbler here. And it's very dangerous if we don't get a stun lock on her. And coming down. If we don't get a stun lock on her, then we're in danger. There we go. Okay, we did not die. We are safe for... that's the hardest boss for me. The air portion of that is very difficult, and I didn't have a safety potion. But our health will come back after this. So we are now completely done with the hard stuff of this run. The last... Who's she looking at? She's supposed to be talking to us. There we go. So the rest of the run is going to... Blood Briar and Blood Briar runes are pretty safe. Blood Briar runes has the second to last boss. It's supposed to be the hardest dragon, but we have another manipulation. So as you saw, we've had basically a manipulation or a cheese way of defeating all these. All right. So now Patch has grown up even more, and that gave him the power of fire, so we're going to be using the fire, or supposedly using the fire on the next level, but for us, we kind of won't need it because we know where we're supposed to be going. So unfortunately, we can't do the really funny fly glitch on this section. There we go. Oops. We are going to head over to Havenholm once again. And, we have one more dialogue box. So remember, like I said at the very beginning of the game, I flew off a little bit early, and it allowed for us to skip a dialogue box. Well, we are now going to be getting that dialogue box because we skipped it, but it's like one dialogue box, and it actually helps us out by bringing us closer to Havenholm to begin with. All right, so we have to go back to Havenholm for the flying, for the talking one more time. So here's the dialogue box. We're going to stop, and we're going to hold Y to fly down. There we go. And then we are going to do a little bit of talking, but it's going to be a little bit longer, and we're going to get a terror mail right away. So what we're going to try and do, I like to try and... MOD, one of the other active runners of this, tries to terrorize the other people. But I like to try and see the other dragons, because we're lonely, because these are the only dragons that we get to see. And if we're lucky enough, we'll be able to see Falco. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over this way. If I can do it correctly, we should be able to see Valka and her dragon. Sounds like I might have gotten it. Let's see. Let's see where I ended up. I did! Hey, there we go! Alright, so now we're heading off to Briar. There's going to be one more dialogue box when we're flying over that way, and that dialogue box is only just saying, hey, this is the point, basically the point of no return. If you want to go here, that we cannot return back to Havenholm. So, are you sure you want to go, Patch? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And we head off. So this is a little bit more technical. Not a lot of, there's not as many skips in this area, and this is actually where, if you're playing on VSync off, there's going to be a couple more skips that would normally happen in this section that we would be able to skip. But I cannot do that, unfortunately. So I'm going to stop again, and I'm going to fly down to the campground. And we have one more Astrid Skip here, and this is an important one too, because once again, you can lose 40 seconds, but it's kind of like, I don't exactly know where it's at. I'm pretty sure I know I've been able to get it quite a few times, but it's very confusing and hit or miss. I think I'm like 9 for 10 for getting this Astrid Skip, so I'm pretty... It's right there. There we go, we got it. And now we're going to go through here, and I'm going to see if I can get this skipped as well. Nope. You can skip this dialogue box. It's not that big of a dialogue box to begin with, but it still does save a little bit of time. Okay, come on through. Ow. Let me through, please. No way. There we go. Oh my god. He's already low on health, which is not good throughout this entire area. So there's no way to skip this dialogue box. We cannot figure out how. So right here, I'm gonna skip, and now we're gonna roll through here. So normally there's things that are blocking you, but we know the pathway, and there are normally arrows that would be there shooting at you, but we skipped over the thing that would shoot at us. The switch is the word, Steve. Now we're gonna go down here, and I'm gonna stay Scribbler. You can just run past that one. Cool. That one's good to skip, because if you don't skip that one, then this is the longest area in the entire game that you would have to run back for. So I make sure I get that one from now on. So this is the only screen that we do on purpose, that we go in and then come back through, because it's just really simple. And like I said earlier on in the game, if you do that, then you're still able to skip the Cool. That one's difficult for me as well. So I'm just going to try and control Scribbler throughout most of this last area here. So I don't end up dying. Because he only has one heart, as you can see. And now we're coming up on a skip that I actually have to control patch for here. This is a really cool skip. I used to struggle with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this area ice for a purpose later on. Now we're going to go over here and we're going to ice this up. We're going to go up here. So what I'm doing right now is actually only mandatory on the VSync off, because once we do that in the VSync off, on VSync off, you can just bring everybody back through, and you will not have to do this next area. So we're going to get over here about right there. We're going to pop it down, and then we're going to go over here. So this is unfortunate because this next area has guys that can still hurt me and kill Scribbler. So we're going to try and kill him off. There's ones, and there we go. There's two. We're going to hit that. So normally you wouldn't have to go up here with VSync off, but since we're on VSync on, we do have to do this. So now we're going to go down this way, and we are going to cross over the water. All right, over here, and up this way. There's a fight skip here, and then we're going to get over here with Scribbler. The only problem we have with skipping all of this with Scribbler is we have a chance of Patch getting caught inside of a net, and we don't want that to happen for obvious reasons. We would have to run back. So right here, normally you would have to... This fog, sorry, I forgot to explain this. That's what can happen. There are holes inside of this area that you can fall down in, and the only way you would be able to see the path normally is you would use the fire that Patch has to see the path, the correct pathway to go through, but we know exactly where we're supposed to be going, so we just don't use it. So I'm going to stay as Patch here because the next section will need him, I believe, if I'm thinking of the right area. Yes, I am. So I want to be very careful here because I did get glitched out to where I could not destroy the enemy if I managed to skip this next section over here. So we're going to run over to the water. And we're going to ice up all of this section here, and then we're going to skip that. Cool. Now we don't have to worry about that, and we'll just leave Scribbler back there. We're going to run up here, and hopefully we don't get caught. Good. Now we're going to run up here, and I'm actually going to stay as Patch once again because we have to solve this puzzle. And what you're going to see me do here is this section, once again, can be skipped with VSync off category. So I'm going to run over here, and I'm going to hit this. And this is the only one that is, well, yeah, the only one that is mandatory, I believe, in VSync off. Because you would be able to do that push technique again to push everybody through. So we're going to go here, and we're going to hit that. Now we have one more that we have to go to, but right now I'm just going to switch over to Scribbler to get us over there a little bit faster. So, the funny thing about this area right here is, I have not played this casually, so I could not tell you a bit about the regular route for this. Excuse me, there we go. Because I knew that I was getting this game for the sole purpose of speedrunning. Did not think it was going to be that fun, and I never played this level casually. I have only done the speedrun route of this. So right here, with our warping, down warping and up warping, it's going to allow for us to do a little bit of a skip right here. So I believe there's a puzzle section here that you would have to take a long time to solve. But I'm just going to go around here and I'm going to completely pass by that by down warping here, and we have now solved the puzzle. If you could consider it solved. There we go, and now we're going to grab up, we're going to wait a second here, we're going to grab up that and that. Got it. Cool, cool, cool. So now you would normally have to wait to see a dialogue box for both of those. And we have one more skip here, hopefully, before we have to... I'm going to switch over to patch here, because it's a little bit easier. Cool, we got it. But the problem is that... Yep, that's the bad part about this. Let me just get him out of here. Okay, let's go. I was smart. There we go, we skipped that, and this is the only one at the end that we have to officially watch. Alright, so now we're done with Briar, and we're going into the Briar runes. Briar runes is basically the last area of the game. It's done quite fast. Sorry, excuse me. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do our roll. We skipped past it good. And we have to hit that to make it so it's not fire. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to hit it and we would have got hurt. But we are healed now again, which is really good. Now we're going to go over here. There's no way of skipping this. There's a lot more areas in this section that we actually can't skip. And Briar Runes is actually the biggest area for VSync off runners, because there's a massive area where they just completely skip the one of the levels entirely. The floors, I should say. We're gonna hit this down, and we're gonna hit it over. Then we're going to hit these again, so that can go that way. And then we're gonna roll down here, hit that up, and go up here. And then we're gonna do that and that. Hit that over and hit that over. Then we're gonna switch over and switch to that. We can hit that as fast as we can while it's in the middle of the cutscene of showing us where it's at. Then we're gonna wait just a tad bit here, and we're gonna skip past that dragon fight. I remember to wait. If you don't wait there, then unfortunately you do have to do the dragon fight. There we go. We got that. Normally you would have to go and you would have to hit those down by hitting multiple different switches to get to it, but you can just stand in the corner there and hit it. I'm gonna stand you back that way. You can, so if you get it lined up perfectly there, you can make it so you can roll through there, and then you can go a little bit faster, but unfortunately was not able to get it. So you saw the last Astrid Skip. I did it really quickly there because it's the easiest setup, but a lot of people were struggling to get that that Astrid Skip. I found a consistent way to do it, so everybody does it that way now. Dang it! I always do that too. I never know where that roll is. That's fine though. We need to be Scribbler anyway. Hit that over, hit this one over, hit this one down, hit that, then we're gonna hit this one over, make sure we don't hit that top one, and then we're going to switch to fire here, and hit that up, and there we go. We're gonna go through here, and this, going over here, we can't really do anything. We're going to make sure that we're able to control ourselves a little bit here, because you can get stuck in the walls doing the fast movement here. Cool. So this next area, this puzzle, we're gonna do another one of our fun little exits and screen go black sort of situation here. Because the game still thinks that we're supposed to be over there, but we teleported out fast. There we go. Cool. Now we're gonna go over here. And we're gonna actually go straight this time. So now we need a patch here. My goal here is always to try and see if I can make it through without Scribbler making it through, which we did, which is fun. We're gonna go through here. Okay, there's a way to skip this. Cool. That is very difficult for me, but once again, MOD. One of the runners told me a good way to do that is just right past the pillar. Normally you can roll through there in one go. I just got stuck on something and don't know exactly what. There we go. So I don't, like I said, I've never played this casually. Don't know how this is solved casually, this puzzle right here. But we can just skip through that entirely and solve the puzzle by hitting it twice. So now we're going to go up through there and we're going to have another fight. So we're going to switch back over to Patch and stay Patch. Cool. Because, once again, he has the strongest attack. Oh, that was weird. Got stuck on something. So we're gonna stay Patch here because we need to do something else up here. That was weird. I forgot to switch up here. I was like, why is that door closed? So I'm gonna switch over to Lightning here because Lightning has actually the longest range. So it allows for us to hit that a little bit easier. So that's actually a complete skip. Didn't realize it. It seems like that's what's supposed to be done there. But it's not, apparently. Cool. Got back through there, and now we're going to run down this way. I'm going to skip past these guys, and we're going to... What I'm going to do is I'm going to control Scribbler here. So right here, what I'm going to be doing is this whole floor here is completely skipped by the sync off, and which is unfortunate because this is my favorite skip in the entire game. So right there, we're going to go at the very edge, which is going to activate the fight scene here. And since that was raised up, we're just going to go on here. We're going to roll a couple of times, pop up here, and we completely skip that fight. If you mess that up, which I have in the past, you kind of soft lock. But it's very consistent, so I just don't even worry that much. It is possible to soft lock there, though. So this is an unskippable cutscene, once again. So that is our next boss, by the way. And you would think, oh boy, he's big. How are we going to defeat him? Well, let's just say there's a simple and easy way to fight him that casual players would never know. Why did I switch to Scribbler here? I do need Patch for this last area. So, for safety purposes, and it's a marathon, I am going to be getting the extra, potions here. So, Scribbler's automatically moving right here. We can grab those. That got us 2 potions. And those 2 potions are just for safety purposes. And we're going to head in here. This was actually a really good area. Hello, Briar. And this is the only boss that we actually start off where we want to have Scribbler with us to start. Alright, so this boss fight is very interesting. So you're going to see 3 of the controlling points on him. Normally when you're playing the game casually, you want to get rid of the first the 2 legs and then the head point. However, we are only going to be hitting the head, and only hitting the head will allow for us to finish the boss off a lot faster. There is another faster way, but still we have yet to figure out how to do it. If you roll the correct way with Patch, it would allow for us to completely roll up the side of him and then out and over, and it would completely skip having to do this fight whatsoever, but we cannot find a consistent way of doing that. Once again, if you're a glitch hunter and you want to try that again, try and figure that out, please do so, because it would help us out dramatically. Alright, so I am now Scribbler here. We're going to go in here, and we are going to hit this once. Then we're going to switch over to Patch, and we are just going to enjoy the rest of this fight by standing right here. We're just going to be doing this the entire fight. I got 2 hits. We need 10 hits total, 10 or 12 hits, but I'm standing in the right spot here. Okay, that's 3. Like 4 or 5, depends. Now we're just gonna count here. 5 or 6. Six or 7. There we go. We're done. That was a really fast fight for me. We're gonna go in here. And we're actually just gonna skip past that chest, because all it is for us is another potion. So now we're going on to the final fight, which is Air, and she's like, please join me. She's like, you have the way of stopping us from Patch from growing older. Can you just give it to us? Well, I could, but would you really prefer for Patch to stay this old and be in agony its entire life? He's like, no. He's like, then I can't help you. He says, okay, well, then we're just going to have to destroy you. That's the only way to stop you from harming all the rest of these dragons. So that's what we're going to do. And what we're just going to do for this fight is just run around in circles, basically. And then hopefully get lucky enough to get a sunlock on Air and not die. But luckily, we have our 2 safety potions. And that's going to help us out quite a bit. So the goal would be to get a safety potion at the very beginning of the game and then keep that safety potion throughout the entire run without having to use it up. But we were unfortunate and not able to get that safety potion at the very beginning because the game was like, no, you're still playing. Dang it. That sucks. I got hit by the boulder. Twice. Dang it. That's not what you want to happen, because we got hit by the boulder, which caused us to get completely stunned. And normally I almost destroyed her, but you don't want this to happen for obvious reasons. It's very slow. Okay, that's the first wave. We have 2 more to go. And then that won't be the time. The time will actually be when we go and we have to fly back to Havenholm. And there will be there's some dialogue boxes coming up, but after this fight, it's just a bunch of mashing that's going to be happening. So it looks like I got a stun lock on her. Cool. So after this, we have 1 more wave, and then we will be done with this fight. This was unfortunately slow because she did fly back once, but it's a very simple one when you have the 2 safety potions. I can't move. There we go. Okay, and with that, we have now completed fought Air, and she is done. And now we have to fly back. But, actually, this is the best music in the entirety of the game. So I want everybody to listen in. But, the sad part about this is Patch, at this point, is just so old and... just trying to talk about this. He's so old he can't fly. And... so this is as fast as we can go back, and playing this game casually, I legitimately cried because this ending is very, very sad. One of the sadder endings to a game, in my opinion. Especially if you like How to Train Your Dragon as much as I do. Alright, so now we're gonna fly over this way. So timing won't be until there's going to be a bunch of dialogue to talk about. And so here we go. Heading into Havenholm. I'm going to try and stop early once again because he actually flies down really, really slow. Alright, so after this, all we have to do is just mash. Alright, so mashing away. So we come here and they say we stopped air, but unfortunately we couldn't slow down Patch's aging because of him being a Chimeragon. So, unfortunately, Patch is just too weak and can't stand up anymore. A little bit tired. Now, you might be thinking something a little bit weird here, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's not what you think. I said he's a little bit tired, and he decided to stand up. So he was just sleepy. He needed a, like, a 10-second nap. But anyway, come to find out, there is a dragon, dragon's graveyard where they take all the dragons that are dying off, and that's where we're gonna send off Patch. The timing will be coming up the second that the screen, the credits roll, the screen goes black and then the credits show up. But, so we find out that, Patch will not only, die, but he'll be reborn again as the egg. So we come to find out that the egg, this dragon, Patch, was actually Air's dragon, the whole time. And, that's what she claims at one point, that the dragon looks like hers, and we find out that this was, Patch was actually hers the entire time, and that big explosion at the end was him at the beginning of the game was actually him. So, yeah, this, I'd love to show off this game. I hope everybody enjoyed watching this game. It is, fantastic. I'm gonna, while this is going on, I'm just gonna explain. We do have a Discord and a speedrun.com. Go there if you're interested. We're looking for glitch hunters. We're always open to new runners. If you're interested, we're always able to let you know about tricks and seeing new people's opinions. But yeah, this game is lovely. I love speedrunning it. If you love the How to Train Your Dragon series, I would strongly suggest it. And time. So one funny thing about this is this screen is supposed to be full with the credit screen here, but for some reason, my game does not show it all the way, and you're able to see stuff in the background that you're not supposed to normally. But yeah, once again, thank you for watching this run. I thoroughly enjoyed running this game and showing it off so people can see it, because it is such a chill game. It's so much fun to see, and I just love it. So, thank you for watching. I will be on for one more run after this, and that is going to be Toy Story 3. So, if you're interested, just stay in here, and I will show that off, because that is very much a broken game as well. I know Toy Story 2 was earlier on in the marathon, so I'm glad to show off the next game in the series. So, I'll see you in just a little bit.